Hello everyone, Enderite7 here. In this video, I will be showing you the 2026 No Logic RC glitch. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the way this glitch works is by using a combination of detachable blocks and powered couplings. As you can see, the seat has absolutely zero logic on it, and when I press spacebar, my missile will detach, and I am able to fly it around, use cameras, which I couldn't do on my old method, and I can also, of course, it being a missile, I can detonate it. Now, as you can see, my center of mass gets completely screwed up when I use this, and that's actually a very good advantage. I'll show you how that works a little bit later, but for now, just know that it is extremely beneficial, and if your build starts to do weird things, that's completely part of the design. It makes sense for it to do those things. It should be doing those things. Alright, so without any further ado, I will show you guys how to set up the glitch for yourself. Alright, so for this glitch, you will need a seat, obviously. Now, there are two good choices of seat. The two being these two. The armored seat, which I recommend for anyone who doesn't have the Motorhead DLC. It's a great seat. It's just, in general, very good for defense. And if you're leaving yourself defenseless while flying or driving something around, it's probably good to use this. Now, if you have Motorhead, I actually recommend that you use the car seat, and that is because it is very resistant to impact damages. And if you get far enough away, things will start getting mildly glitchy, and so you might take some impact damage. The seat will be really good at dampening it. Anyway, whatever seat you use, it doesn't really matter. The glitch setup is the exact same. You might have to change the way you place some blocks just because of attachment points, but that should be the only difference that there is. So, for this seat, I'm going to have to put down a base plate because there just aren't any attachment points on the front. But from there, I have my base plate down. I'm going to take a pipe, or if you want, you can use suspension, but I'm just going to use a pipe, and then stick it on the bottom, and then stick an anchor pin underneath that, if I can find it. There we go. The reason for this is because if your build's, big enough, you might want some space. You'll need the anchor pin so your seat doesn't start flopping around because of glitchiness, and the suspension can help dampen glitchiness from extreme distance traveled. You usually don't really need that. Just use a pipe. It's fine. Okay, enough yapping about that. Then, you're going to want to set up the actual glitch itself. So, take two grid blocks like this and place them right here. From there, you're going to take two detachable blocks and place them like so. From there, two power couplings and place them on the end of your detachable blocks. And then just copy your detachable blocks over to the other side. You should end up with something that looks exactly like this. So, one detachable block, one power coupling, and then another detachable block, and that's multiplied by 2 because there's 2 of them. From there, take your grid blocks and then just copy them down till they're almost as long as your weird contraption in the center. The reason that I'm having you use grid blocks is because they're very light. The way that this glitch works is it keeps the weight from both builds, basically, and so anywhere you can save weight, it's good to. I should have used grid blocks for this, but screw it, it's fine. That's also why I had to use the car seat if you have it, because it is extremely light, and the armored seat is not. Anyways, I'm going to now, this is the glitch done, just so you know. The glitch is completely done, besides actually hooking the vehicle up. This, if you have a vehicle hooked up correctly, this will work. So, I'm going to have a vehicle to hook up. I'm gonna stick, a big platform there, and then, I don't know, let's have some wheels. Wheels are always nice. Copy them forward. Okay, engine, yeah, sure. Okay, very simple car, and you know what? Just for the fun of it, let's stick a camera on it, but make sure to toggle the input, because I don't know why it doesn't default do that. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, we have a gyro. I'm going to turn the strength up just a teensy bit. Okay, now, the last thing you need to do is actually connect your grid block arms to the build itself. whatever you do, don't try to connect them to wheels or really any other mechanical block. It can work fine, but sometimes it gets really buggy and annoying. It's best to try to connect it to something in the structure or the streamlining category. The marine category can also work fine, but I'm going to use the structure category, and so this 4x8 is in the structure category, so I'll just take some pipes, bend them using an elbow, like so, and then I can take a 1x1 and connect them like this. Now it is connected. Your build is connected to both the detachable blocks back here and the grid arms. From there, that is quite literally all you need to do. I spawned it in. That's weird. I right click, and there we go. This car is completely functional. Now, I got very lucky. The grid arms did not detach with the build, but as you can see, if I drive over here, oh, don't tip over, thank you. Okay, as you can see here, the grid arms are still on the missile here. Now, that's not a bad thing. If this happens and you really do want to get rid of it, screwing around with the weld groups on whatever RC build you have can help with that. So you literally could just put down some, I don't know, helicopter engines or hinges on it. All you need to do is change the weld group and you'll basically just have a random chance of detaching more or less of these grid blocks. Now, if you have a really, really small and light build or something that requires very delicate precision, okay, fine, go ahead and do that. But if you're doing anything else, it really doesn't matter. Sure, it might look ugly. If you want, you can make them have a glass texture, because I don't think you need any DLCs for that, correct me if I'm wrong. But it really isn't that important. It shouldn't affect you that much. But as I pointed out earlier, make sure it's light, because the game effectively thinks that this build and this build are actually one build, which, as I will show you, will lead to stealth properties, which, yes, you can make a dogfighter and it will have stealth properties. Very hard to aim at, so that's fun. Stick around for that. Anyway, you can skip my explanation if you want. Just spam the skip 5 seconds or whatever button. It's okay if you have a short attention span. I don't mind, so do I. Anyways, technical explanation. The game thinks that these two builds are the same thing, and so however much weight is here will also be put here. And that also causes our fun camera bug. I'm using a camera that goes to the center of mass, and oh boy, it is in fact in the center of mass right now. It is not bugged. So, why is it halfway between the builds? Well, that's because, again, since the game thinks that that build and that build are the same, it will try to find the center of mass between the two. And that's right, if I take, I don't know, a seat, and then let's just stick 2 smart cannons on it. Let me turn my HUD off. The center of mass, okay, there are these things. Yes, these are still technically targetable, but honestly, don't worry too much about it. But you see, the center of mass is actually right here. And if I can have this, like, imagine you're trying to shoot the car, you are unable to shoot the car. Your build's weapons will aim towards this magical center of mass. It disappeared, but whatever, you know where it is, and you can see it, and you can see it's right there. I'll try to place a marker down. It should be approximately, very precisely, round about here-ish. I'll just mark it with a C. It's not perfect, but I shall now move, and as I move farther away, the center of mass will change, because if I get in this seat with the guns, it no longer will be pointing at that center of mass. It's now pointing at that seat which I left there. The new center of mass of the vehicle is here. And, wait a minute. Huh. This car is upside down. I wonder how that happened. But never fear, you can always just repair, and it will respawn itself perfectly. So, there's always that, and that's a good thing. Anyway, that was the overly nerdy technical explanation done. It's not really that nerdy, it's just Quantum Link. But anyway, for those of you who just want to do the glitch and don't really care about this, yeah, I'm sorry if you were listening to this, none of this really matters. You could have just done the glitch with that information. Don't feel bad about yourself, it's your fault. Actually, you should feel bad about yourself. Anyway, that's it. That concludes the tutorial. That's everything you need to know, at least to do an RC glitch. And yeah, feel free to abuse this as much as you want. No, don't. Use this glitch responsibly. Maybe troll your friends with it, because it's a lot of fun to use. And oh man, I feel so bad to those poor people who actually watched my most recent RC tutorial, which I get it, it's not very recent, but it was so bad. I got so many people in the comments like, dude, what is this? I'm like, oh, wow, this was actually really bad. So instead of just making an updated one, which used like the logic glitch that wasn't actually patched, it's my bad for saying that. I thought it was broken. It's not broken. By the way, if you're still here, and you don't really care about any of this, go do the glitch. Anyway, I feel bad for the people who watched it because, you know, I was very wrong. So instead of just steal someone else's tutorial, I mean, I kind of am sort of stealing someone else's tutorial right now. This isn't my glitch. I don't know whose it is. Let me know in the comments. I'll put it in the description. Anyway, instead of just make a new tutorial, blah, 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 I looked for something different, something that I'd actually been using for a while but didn't even think to make a tutorial about. So, yeah, no logic. Have fun with it. And with that, that really is the end of the video. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It makes the algorithm like me more. And that's it. Ender out. Bye.